What will we see from you tonight?
You won't see anything from me tonight. Unfortunately, I will not be in uniform tonight. Still dealing with ankle and foot.
Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic.
So what exactly is causing LeBron's elbow pain, and could it hurt the Cavs' chances?
What was the injury you're dealing with?
The injury I was dealing with? I tore a tendon in my foot.
Liar!
Pretty much played the last 3 games with a broken hand. So,
But if I end up having to get surgery after the season, you guys won't know.
It never ends.
When it comes to being the face of the NBA, that burden, that pressure is undoubtedly immense. And looking back at past eras, sometimes one guy carries the NBA, 2 guys, and in very rare cases, you have a trio of players as the face of the NBA. And of course, look at the 60s, guys like Wilt and Russell, the 70s at Kareem, 80s are Magic and Bird, 90s are Jordan, and so on and so on. When it comes to every player was dubbed the face of the NBA, the guy for the NBA. All those players but one left the NBA better than when they found it. And the one guy who didn't do that was, of course, LeBron James.
Right now, I'm preliminary putting my name in the 2010 dunk contest Saturday night.
And this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
G-O-A-T. At that moment, I was like, I'm the greatest basketball player people have ever seen.
You got to call me like 2-3 or Bron.
Okay.
Or, GOAT if you want to.
pretty much played the last 3 games with a broken hand. So.
And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
During the LeBron James era, the on-court product, the purity of basketball, has eroded drastically. And of course, overall fan interest, especially the past couple of seasons, has taken a steep decline. Also, one big-time negative trend that's really gone league-wide is the overall belief that one superstar player, one marquee player, is bigger than their team, their organization, and really the entire NBA. That overall attitude of being bigger than basketball has been spearheaded by LeBron James. As of course, looking around the NBA, there's tons of superstars, all-stars, even role players who are flat out delusional about themselves and their standing in NBA history. For someone like Joel Embiid, much like LeBron, has a massively inflated ego that makes him simply delusional.
You think you would be in the greatest player of all time conversation without the injury problems?
I think so.
Someone like Zion Williamson, much in the vein of LeBron James, load manages every single week.
You won't see anything from me tonight. Unfortunately, I will not be in uniform tonight.
And of course, Paul George, much like LeBron James due to his guidance, doesn't take All-Star Weekend seriously and views it as a vacation.
People just look at the All-Star break as like, damn, I get time to chill.
Like I said earlier, being the face of the NBA, it's an immense burden and a very tough job. And in regards to LeBron James, a lot of times his actions, even inactions, set the tone for the entire NBA. And of course, guys beneath them, like an Embiid, a Zion, a Paul George, whether they know it or not, they follow LeBron's lead in his NBA. Somewhere between 2010 and 2016, when the Kobe era ended, LeBron era began, something got lost in translation, something was not carried over from Kobe's era to LeBron's era.
But one of the reasons my husband played through injuries and pain was because he said he remembered being a little kid, sitting in the nosebleeds with his dad to watch his favorite player play. Kobe didn't want to disappoint his fans, especially the ones in the 300 sections that saved up to watch him play.
You won't see anything from me tonight. Unfortunately, I will not be in uniform tonight. Still dealing with ankle and foot discomfort, so.
Right.
That stunt right there from LeBron James kind of crystallizes who he is as a player and really as a person. As of course, what this move comes down to is LeBron James having a massive ego. As pointed out the 11th hour, it ruins the fan experience in the arena, out of the arena, ruins it for the players on the floor, and it ruins for some guys who could have replaced LeBron James in that game. And here's the sad part. All those parties being affected by LeBron James ducking the All-Star game, I don't think LeBron James actually cares. Because of course LeBron James, the only person he cares about is LeBron James. To be the so-called face the NBA pull that stunt, it's downright despicable. And again, making a larger point, LeBron's influence trickles down to players beneath him. As even Anthony Edwards, a younger superstar, a guy being called the next Jordan face the NBA, kind of pulled the exact same stunt, which once again proves in the LeBron era, skipping All-Star games randomly is commonplace and simply accepted. And for LeBron himself, his quote-unquote injured ankle, his fatigued ankle, look, I'm very, very skeptical. This guy's ankle on some nights, for teams like the Wizards, Charlotte, or Utah, looks 100% healthy. Then all of a sudden versus Minnesota or Milwaukee, that ankle just kind of flares up, it's hurting, you know, I gotta sit out take 5, can't play tonight. LeBron's injury history, it's always very, very skeptical of the timing, the excuses, really the entire cloud surrounding.
Did anyone ever suggest surgery?
Yeah, 2 doctors.
Why did you decide against it?
Because I went to LeBron James' feet.
That's kind of the weird dichotomy of LeBron James. On one hand, he's superhuman and recovers faster than anyone. On the other hand, if he loses, gets bounced in the playoffs, all of a sudden that ankle just, it's not superhuman anymore, isn't recovered, and LeBron James all of a sudden is playing on one arm and one leg. Stuff like that is why fans are tired of LeBron James. We're tired of the lying, the collusion, the fake injuries, the passive-aggressive comments. We're tired of all of it. When you're the face of the NBA, it's not about you, your ego, your legacy. It's not about any of that. It's about the league as a whole and you pushing the game forward once you retire. Look at this quote right here from the 2001 Basketball Encyclopedia. The opening headline to this book says the following: the NBA has lost Russell, Wilt, Bird, Magic, and Jordan, but the league endures. And under that header in the final paragraph, it says the following: still, the game endures. MJ is gone, but there's more than enough in the basketball alphabet to keep the game moving forward. And of course, what it's alluding to is guys like Duncan, Shaq, Iverson, and of course Kobe. Guys who take that torch in the 2000s, even the 2010s, and push the game forward. That opening monologue from the 01 Basketball Encyclopedia is extremely relevant 25 years later. As of course, even for Jordan, one of the biggest showstoppers, global stars the game's ever seen, even Jordan wasn't bigger than basketball. And like I said previously, for guys like Jordan, Magic, Bird, and so on, they left the game better than when they found it. The biggest indictment on LeBron James isn't his finals loss, his excuses, his fake injuries. It's not any of that. The biggest stain on his legacy, the biggest indictment on his legacy, is that he left the game worse than when he found it, as the face of the NBA was largely a failure. Now, for LeBron, age 40 in Los Angeles, season 22, coming into this year, what quote did he have that took everyone by storm? He said, quote, "I have nothing left to prove." And of course, for the most part, that is true. But with that being said, if you have nothing to prove, nothing to gain, why are you still playing? The NBA as a whole doesn't need you anymore, doesn't want you anymore, and quite frankly, can't stand you anymore. For the average fan, hearing LeBron's excuses, fake injuries, just the nonsense BS that circles LeBron James, you can only take so much of it. And 20 years in, it's just LeBron fatigue. Go on, retire, leave the game, it'll be fine without you. We won't have your excuses, your brick game winners, or your finals losses. We'll endure and be fine without you. So that right there is the end of the video, and I'll say one last thing. The legacy of LeBron James will be won with a couple of different stories. On one hand, this guy was a great basketball player, phenomenal talent, who stats-wise was an anomaly. On the other hand, he's a single figure responsible for the NBA's decline in the late 2010s and early 2020s. In a lot of ways, LeBron James is Anakin Skywalker or Darth Vader. As much like Anakin was dubbed as the Chosen One, had immense hype expectations that he simply wouldn't live up to. And of course, when it was all said and done, LeBron's overall impact was largely negative on the NBA and pushing the game forward. In simplest terms, LeBron James has left the game worse than when he found it. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.